Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Blitz Nation Tech Tree Heavy, the AC Atlas. This is one of the most dangerous Tier 10 heavies. It's got armor, mobility, gun depression, and even decent DPM. And when you add all those things together, it definitely allows the Atlas to be incredibly capable. Now, that's not to say there aren't downsides. It does feature a weak lower plate, which, if you know where to aim, you'll quite reliably cut through, and while the turret is very strong, it's also very boxy, which means that if you have enough pen, you can cut right through it. However, that's not going to be the case in the next update of the game. You see, in the next update, Wargaming is making it so that the Atlas is going to be basically overpowered, because enhanced armor is getting better, and not only that, but calibrated shells is getting worse. So all of the heavies, which previously were able to penetrate this thing, are no longer going to be able to cut through it. It's a huge buff for the capabilities of this vehicle. Unlike those shots there. That was pretty bad. I had really bad ping today. I don't know why. And when you pair that with, trying to snap a shot, that's just never going to work out for you. But either way, we'll see if this 60 TP decides to poke, or what his overall big brain plan is. He fires, and shoots at the 260. It doesn't hit anybody. Okay, we're going to move over here, and let's see, we have the enemy 60 TP still sitting there. I'm going to cross over here. There's no way he's going to be able to pen me at that angle. And I'm just going to try and slowly maneuver my way up towards their tanks. We have the Kron. Okay. Kron is obviously a pretty big threat. I don't know if they're going to poke, but I really hope they don't. Well, maybe they are. Alright, let's see. Aiming. Doesn't look like they're poking again. I'm going to move up. We still haven't really had the opportunity to do anything yet. The enemy team is just, I don't know, they're not really making any plays. We do have the 114, though. Ooh, good RNG coming from me there. 140 damage. Thankfully, my second clip worked a heck of a lot better. But now we have the Kron on our flank, which also isn't the most enjoyable experience. We need to reload just for a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have our shots. It's aiming on the side of the Kron. 1, 2. Okay, not bad. And 1, 2, 3. Nice. There you go. See, the autoloader on this vehicle is interesting. The downside of running the autoloader is that you obviously are going to be dealing less damage if your shells don't pen. And it can be a rather troll gun in that department. But at the same time, when the gun does work, this thing can deal a lot of damage. I mean, that's 360 right there. And if the Conf Panzer pokes again, that'll be another 360. If he doesn't, we just reload the clip. And the clip reload on this vehicle is the same as the time it takes for the single shot. So there's really no reason to not do it. I just want our E100 to attack at this point. Let's see. I'm going to push the Conf Panzer. Let my E100 deal with that, guys. There you go. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Conf Panzer misses. That's 350 health. 1, 2, 3. That's 330 health. We do have the 183 in the back, but we're doing okay so far. We've already dealt a bit of damage. And one thing that's really nice about the Atlas is it weighs a crap ton. Look at that. 356 damage right there. Nice little burst into that player. 183 shoots. And you know what? I'll take it. It's 115 damage I wouldn't have had. So it's free damage, essentially. Well, we're already up to 2,800 at this point, which is quite nice. And let's see, we got the Caro left on the enemy team all the way over there. I'm going to ignore the Caro, and we're just going to continue pushing the 183. There is 359. Let's reload again. There's another 411. And we back in the cover. That's 3,600 damage now. The E100 misses, and we're going to reload again. 3, 2, 1... There you go. Nice. 340. Our teammate IS-7 bounces the 183 and dies. Pretty impressive stuff. But I can't really get too mad. You can see my armor as well, getting all those bounces. But we're up to 4,200 damage. This is a really good game for the Atlas. And you can see why it kind of gets away with what it wants, right? I mean, the armor alone is really good. And when you add that with the pretty good mobility here, I mean, we're chilling at 38 kilometers per hour. It's not bad at all. Question is, where's the Caro going to go? They're clearly not sitting in that bush, because if they were, we would have been spotted and shot. So they're most likely making the transition over towards base A. That would be my assumption, and it looks like my guess was correct. So there's 375 off the Caro, and there's another 386, giving us in total 5,000 damage. See, a lot of people say the single shot's better, and there are advantages to the single shot. The biggest advantage is that when you're shooting at distances that are, maybe 150 meters away, you're going to reliably hit your shots with a single shot where you aren't with this gun. But this gun does have some advantages. The biggest one being the fact that when you are closer, you have the ability to dish out more damage. Like that enemy Karo, for example, we were able to take 761 health off of that player, and if we were running the single shot, we would have only dealt about 480. So we were able to deal an additional 300 damage because we're running the autoloader there. So there are advantages to both guns. I have said many times in the past, and I will continue to say, autoloaders are generally going to be stronger than single shots because you have the ability to output more damage. If there's an E100, I'm able to deal potentially 760 damage to the E100, even if he's running the 645 alpha gun. So that is the advantage of running the single shot or versus, the double shot, which are the one you want to run. But there are some downsides to the autoloader. My brain's dying. I just woke up a little while ago, so my brain's still trying to adjust. But yeah, there's downsides to this gun. The biggest one being it is a burst, so you don't have the choice of whether your shells are going to shoot or not. You just press the fire button, all three shoot. And because the shells have a fairly large interclip between them, like 1, 2, 3, personally, I think it should be boom, boom, boom. I think it should be about half the interclip. It would allow you to a lot easier hit your shots. But either way, I digress. We're going to head towards mid, and we're going to see what we can do. We got the better spawn, so I can actually play towards this position here. And we'll see what we can do. The enemy is capturing base A. We're going to keep moving all the way up here, and there is the enemy lion. 1, 2, 3. There you go. There's 370 damage. And there's another 118, so we actually ended up dealing 489, which is the exact same damage we would have dealt with the single shot. So, as I keep saying, the single shot has advantages, so does the autoloader. 1, 2, 3. My mouse actually ran out of room, and I couldn't hit him, but that's fine. I can't really do anything to the 60 TP right now. I mean, I'd love to. We actually got one, so I'll take it. It's better than nothing, but fighting a haul down 60 TP is never going to be the most enjoyable experience. What I'm hoping is that our team can kind of get towards the side over there and do a decent job. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about the 60. I don't really think he's going to be able to deal much to me. Let's see. He drives over the ridge. There's 379, and yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to drive over. If you want to make a play like that and drive over, I'll make a play like that and drive over. And this is what I mean by having that autoloader does give you an advantage, because the 60 TP made an overaggression, which they shouldn't have, and we were able to bleed him out more and he was able to bleed me. So there are some advantages to running both guns. We have the line in the back. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Nice 360. And that's pretty good. We're up to 2,300 damage already. However, I don't really like the situation that we're in here. I need to reposition. Our IS-7 is spawn camping, which is not helpful even in the slightest. So I don't really want to deal with that. We're going to cross over here just like so. The 60 TP bounces. Good job, buddy. All right, well, let's chill over here. Let's see what we can do. We have the E100, and I'm going to aim in directly on that E100. 1, 2, 3. There you go. E100 screws up the shot, so there's another 1, 2, 3. We didn't pen the third shell, but we still ended up dealing probably 600-ish damage. We've blocked 2,500 at this point, which is a lot. The 183 is in the back over there, and I'm just going to chill right here. We're naming on the 100 turret. 1, 2. Dang, we didn't pen any of those. That sucks, but that's the problem with having bad ping. Like, if I was running the single shot there, it would be an advantage, but I'm really not going to blame the gun. My ping being almost 100, I just can't reliably, pre-aim these shots. It's just not, reliable. Like, you can see that. When he moves, it's just not really going to happen all too often. But, there you go. Another 297 into him there. That puts us up to 3,000 damage already, so we're doing really good in that regard. The 60 TP, I don't know why. Bro just wants to tunnel me, and it hasn't worked out for him once yet. It really hasn't. There you go. Take that player out of the game, and now we're going to push the 60. 1, 2, 3. You're out of the game. And there you go. 4,069 damage. And as I mentioned, if we weren't lagging, I think we would have easily been able to deal more damage to that E100 and therefore probably farm out the 60 TP a little more. At this point, we're just going to push to the side of the 183 and 1, 2, 3. There's 378. We reload again. And there you go. He's out of the game. That's 4,582 damage. Another really good battle. So, yeah, for me, I'm going to stick with the autoloader. I know that I've kind of gone back and forth messing around with both guns. Man, my brain is dying today. But either way, I've gone back and forth messing around with both guns. What's funny is a lot of skilled players prefer the single shot. They say that it's more reliable and therefore you're able to get more consistent games. But for me, I've been doing really well with the autoloader every time I drive this vehicle. In fact, this game right here, I played just a few minutes ago. I was about to end off my Blitz session today, and I was like, you know what, let me just play one more game in the Atlas before closing the game. Well, turns out that this game was so good, I figured I'll throw it on at the end of this video, because why not? So up against us, we have a 57 Heavy, VK72, a Type 68, and a Tornvan. Some pretty dangerous vehicles there. They also have an FV2 and 5B183, an Object 268, and a Leopard 1. Well, we're going to start by aiming it on the 57 Heavy. Unfortunately, one of my shells go high, but the other two go directly where I'm aiming. And there we go again, one of my shells doesn't go exactly where I want it to. But either way, that's still 446 damage. And that's the same damage that we probably would have done if we had penned with our single shot. The thing that I like about having an autoloader is it removes uncertainty. If you're using a single shot and you bounce your one shot, well, you've just lost out on 480 potential damage. But with this gun, even if you bounce one or two of your shots, at least you're guaranteeing that you're dealing some damage versus no damage. So we have the enemy 57 Heavy, and he overpokes, so I'm assuming I'm going to be able to shoot him. Unfortunately, my shells don't go where I want them to, so we're going to try again. There you go, 3 shots into the side of the 57 Heavy turret. And our M103 takes him out of the game. Well, that's a pretty good start. We're up to 900 damage already, and, well, this is where driving with the autoloader is much more beneficial, because that's 370 damage right there, and we reload again, and that's another 320. So that's about 700 damage we just took off of that player. If we were running the single shot, it would have been 480. And that is a big difference, especially because, as I mentioned, we have the same reload. Sure, there's an interclip of about 3 seconds, but it's still not enough to make up for the much more damage output. I mean, that clip into the 183 was 411, that clip into the 268 was 390, so that means we did about 800 damage in those 2 clips. Like, that's a lot. And now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, right into the 268, and we're going to reload again. Let's roll around the corner. And here we go, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And you definitely see my game lagging there. I don't know why my Wi-Fi or why the connection's been so mid today, but yeah, it's definitely not been going great. But we get a bounce from the VK72, and now I'm going to aim it on his lower plate. There's 298 damage. We're going to reload again. There's another 290 damage. That's just about 600 HP we've taken off the VK. Now I'm going to just face hug him so he can't really do much to me. I'm going to try and gun block. There you go. Perfectly gun blocked. I was going to shoot him there, but then his vehicle angled upwards. So instead, I'm just going to pen him in the little corner there. We get 200 damage. We fire 3 more shots. There's another 397. And the VK-72 is not enjoying life anymore. Now, that player has a damage loader and ammo rack, which means he has like a 40-second reload. In other words, I'm just going to go for the type. And because this thing's so good at ramming, I take 500 health off with the first burst, another 364 in the second. That means we did about 900 damage to that Type 68. And somehow, the VK-72 bounced my rear, Type 68 bounces my front. We're going to reload again, and 1, 2, 3. There's 354, and we reload again. There's another 390. And now I'm going to leave. So just like that, we absolutely bled out that Type 68. That player also has a damaged ammo rack, and we are up to 5,898 damage. Type 68 misses the rear of my vehicle. I don't know what's up with these players and missing the easiest shots, but hey, I'll take what I can get. So we're going to just full speed the Tornvan, and I'm going to try and deal as much as I can. So 1, 2, 3. That's 360 damage, and we're going to ram him, which even though we don't pen 2 of the 3, because our ram still took off another 200 hit points, it was still pretty beneficial towards us. So I'm going to push this guy down the hill, and I'm going to aim it on his engine deck, and there's 1, 2, 3 for 386. Reloading again. Aw, dang, I wasn't able to get any more, as our Caro was able to clip him out. But 6,900 194 damage. We blocked over 3,000 damage, and this is the best example possible, again, of why the Atlas is so strong. We aced it, we had a really good game, and I genuinely do not believe that if I was running the single shot, I would have been able to deal nearly as much damage as I did in this game. You have a substantial amount more DPM running the Autoloader. You have 2,700 DPM versus the single shot's 2,400. That's a 300 DPM increase. You also have a flat better aiming time. So there are big advantages to the Autoloader. I actually really like it. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. As always, if you enjoy videos like this and you want to see more in the future, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.